we are studying about the muscles of the abdominal. We have made a window on the lateral side of the abdominal wall, and here we are able to see three muscles. Through the arrangement of fibers, we can differentiate between them. The most uppermost layer is this is of external oblique muscles. So the arrangement of fibers is forward, downward, and medially. Now moving towards the next layer of muscles. Wait a second. Next layer of muscle. This is internal oblique muscle. Here we can observe the direction of the fibers upward, forward, and medially. Now moving on the next layer of muscles, that is transverse abdominis. Here the arrangement of muscle fibers is transverse. Now we will study about each muscles individually, starting on from external oblique muscle.
The origin of the external oblique muscle is 5th to 12th ribs of external surface of the ribs, and the insertion is ilium, one is iliac crest, and the pubis, pubic tubercle, and the linea alba xiphoid process. Now the nerve supply of the external oblique muscle is, one is intercostal nerves, that is T5 to T12, and the subcostal nerves and iliohypogastric nerves, and the action of the external oblique muscle is the flexus and rotate the trunk and support and compresses the abdominal viscera.
Now moving on towards the next muscle, that is internal intercostal muscles. Here
The origin of the internal oblique muscle is the thoracolumbar fascia in the back side, and the ilium, iliac crest, and the lateral. The origin of the internal oblique muscle is the thoracolumbar fascia in the back side, and the ilium, the iliac crest, and the lateral half of the inguinal ligament. The insertion of the internal oblique muscle is 10th to 12th rib, the inferior border of the ribs, and the linea alba via conjoint tendon. And the innervation means nerve supply of the internal oblique is the intercostal nerves, that is T8 to T12, and subcostal nerve, and first lumbar nerve, iliohypogastric nerve, and ilioinguinal nerve. The action of the internal oblique muscle is the flexus and rotates the trunk and supports and compresses the abdominal viscera.
Now moving on towards the third muscle, that is transverse abdominis.
The origin of the transverse abdominis muscle is the 7th to 12th costal cartilage and the thoracolumbar fascia in the backside, and the ilium in the iliac crest and lateral portion of the inguinal ligament. The insertion of the transverse abdominis is linea alba and the pubis to the pectineal line of the pubis via conjoint tendon and pubic crest. The nerve supply of the transversus abdominis is intercostal nerves, that is T5 to T12, and iliohypogastric nerve and ilioinguinal nerve. The action of the transverse abdominis is rotate the trunk and support and compresses the abdominal viscera.